Hi guys, my name is Marcel. Uploading this last video was a mistake, man. Alright, cards on the table. Today's video isn't your usual drawing tutorial, but rather a collection of tips on how you avoid some pesky habits that you might have while you draw. Like a sir. Actually, I spent a lot of time on Instagram last year. Some of you guys' DMs were like, can you tell me where my problem with this artwork is? And after answering like a couple of hundred messages and texting back, I realized it's mostly like the same 4 or 5 mistakes or problems. Don't get me wrong, there are no mistakes in art. In theory, you could use a banana as a pencil. It's your art, you can do whatever you want with it. So instead of calling it a mistake, you could call it a problem or whatever you're comfortable with. Cards were still in the picture, sorry about that. Also, some more cards on the table. At the moment, I don't have much time for making videos. Lots of things going on over at my end. Additionally, I'm moving, which is very time consuming. So yeah, I don't know when my next video is gonna be out, but if you could support my endeavors with a like or a comment, I'd be forever grateful. I almost feel like apologizing because my last couple of videos haven't been up to par visually. You guys know I can do much better than that and it frustrates me. Alright, let's take a look at what most of you guys can improve with your art. Let's go! Problem number 1 is something a lot of people have, but without even knowing it. People sometimes write stuff like, man, why does your sketch look so clean in comparison to mine? Mine's so messy. These right here have actually been drawn with different pencils. There are different pencil types, but you should mainly look out for H and B. As I told you already, H stands for hard and B stands for soft. And this basically means that one is lighter while the other one is darker. So what I'm doing is to sketch out with the lighter one, which is easier to erase. HB is also still fine. And then when you're absolutely sure you're good, you can use your darker pencil. So every time you see an artwork that looks like it has been etched with a knife instead of a pencil, you know what the problem was. Hashtag never go full soft. You know, there are many different drawing styles, especially more traditional artists that work with coal start off really messy with thick strokes. And that's cool, but consider this, don't. Now hold up, this mainly goes out to people who also line and color their artworks like I do. By the way, this also goes for artists that artificially thicken their lines all the time. Same result, really. So now just think about it. When you, for example, use an unsharpened pencil with thick lines, you might have a nice, rough-looking sketch, but as we established, you maybe want to refine your sketch, right? So maybe you would want to ink your art later on. So then you have your sketch that has a completely different line thickness, but you're inking it with a literal fine liner. So yeah, that's not gonna end very well. Some of you might know about this already, but I've made an inking video for beginners where I addressed this exact problem. So in case you're still insecure about inking, maybe just watch that one as well for starters. So yeah, when you want to ink and then color your artwork, you just need precise lines. And now what I'm going to tell you is how I'm fixing this problem with my artworks. Now when sketching, I also use unsharpened pencils or thicker lines sometimes. And that's okay if you're just scribbling around for fun. But this isn't the topic, it's not about fun. Stop having fun! Okay, for real now, let's say I have this artwork that's just a sketch, but it's supposed to be a completely colored, full-blown artwork. What I'm doing here is to trace this rough sketch onto another paper. And then correcting it so that I only have a couple of thin lines that I just need to follow. For tracing, you could just use a tablet, a window, a glass desk, or maybe a lighting table like the one that I have. But I guess pretty much most of you do have Windows. Unless you're a Mac user. Stop this. Doesn't matter if it's just a simple box or an actual drawing, everything looks more professional with actual lines instead of whatever this is. I'd say drawing like this actually stems from insecurity because you're not quite sure where to place the line, and by drawing like this you keep the line more ambiguous, but it's not gonna help you in the long run. Try practicing simple things like your most basic shapes. Instead of just hatching the lines, just try using straight lines all the way. No one's saying it's gonna be simple, but believe me, you don't see anyone drawing like this. And yeah, there's a difference between actually sketching and a hatched line. Believe me, your art's gonna look so much better once you get rid of this habit. Another fun comparison. Where's the difference? One of these drawings looks flat and 2D, and the other one's got more of a 3D feeling to it. I tackled this issue so many times now, and maybe you got bored of this by now, but it's actually true. If you don't use your guidelines, your drawing is gonna look a lot flatter by nature. You won't be able to hide that fact until you're an absolute pro or something. By using guidelines, you can actually feel that this artwork has a construction behind it. And now, for the last one. Okay, now this one's a very general tip. This goes out for drawing, painting, shading, whatever art you're making. And it's the fact that you need to have courage in order to level up your drawing. In other words, the problem is not having any balls. But I'm a girl. I don't care! Let's take this artwork right here as an example. I just painted it last month with you guys on stream. And everyone was like, yeah, alright, that looks cool, it's alright. But I actually wanted to have a more moody, dark winter artwork. So I knew I needed to make this a lot darker. So I did what needed to be done. I planned this artwork in beforehand, pretty much in detail. I had faith in myself and in my plan, and then well, I think it paid off. I think the difference between these is like, well, night and day, no pun intended. And believe it or not, while painting this artwork, I was always a bit insecure. Are these snowy spots on the tree really a good idea? Isn't adding more snow a bit too much? But I had faith in my plan, and I was rewarded. And don't get me wrong, I can think of a couple of times where this went totally wrong. I repainted this artwork right here like 3 times on stream. I'm not perfect either, far from it. But if I didn't have the courage to do this right here, I would forever look at this artwork and think, man, what if I had the courage to actually continue this artwork? It could have looked so much better. So yeah, I would encourage you guys to take risks when drawing or painting, because after all, you never know if you don't at least try. Now grow some balls, damn it! Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Before you comment something, I know I sounded worse than usual. I'm sick at the moment and the audio in my room's pretty echoey because there's no furniture here. Yet. That's why I want to thank my patrons for funding my new furniture. No, just a joke. You also don't have to become a patron, by the way. Watching my videos is support enough. And while at the topic of watching my videos though, here are all of them. Watch them. Yeah. And I'll see you guys once I have new furniture and a less runny nose. See ya.